Hey, what's up, LinkedIn? This is totally unscripted. Not really quite sure how this is going to go, but I wanted to talk about it because there's been just an outpouring of innovation and entrepreneurship here on LinkedIn. And quite frankly, LinkedIn is more exciting than it's been in years. Millennials have just brought a new vibrancy to LinkedIn and communities and the videos. It's been amazing. But with all of that comes a concern. And that concern is that I think it's great to rely on the support of others, but not to utilize the experience that is here on LinkedIn of those that have been in business for a long time, have been successful CEOs. I think not to utilize that is a huge mistake. I really think that needs to happen more often. And if it's not happening, well, then I'm going to put out some videos to give you my opinion on that. I thought about this talk after meeting with a gentleman who talked about growing up when his parents were entrepreneurs and what he learned about entrepreneurship. And every time I leave the office late, I think about it. And there's a lot of glamour out there about, being an entrepreneur. Like, it's this exciting thing. And it is exciting. It really is. But there's a big difference between, I think, being an entrepreneur and growing a company. Now, me, myself, I want to grow a company. I was fine with being a solopreneur when I started out, but I want to leave a lasting legacy. My goal is to have my company be one of the top digital marketing agencies in the nation, if not the world, and to change the lives of all the people that work with me, my team, forever, and to change their generations. Now, for some, being a solopreneur might be fine. You want to travel around the country, do your own thing, and I was cool with that. In my early 20s, my 30s, I really had nobody to answer to but myself. Even as a solopreneur, I just had my family. But that's a lot when your whole family is relying on you. I say that to make this point. When you are taking your business to the next level, it's hard. It is very hard. You reach that point as a solopreneur where you realize that you have to hire, or else your quality of work is going to go down because you just simply cannot handle the volume. Now, people might be saying, oh, that's a great problem to have. Well, it is. But it's difficult. To be honest, I wear these glasses for a reason. I'm tired. I'm just tired. I'm happy, but I'm tired. When I made that decision in 2017, we went from one person to 11. I was not prepared for what it would bring. I like to think I was prepared, but I learned a lot. When you're working as a solopreneur, you pay yourself. You can decide if you're going to be a sole proprietorship, you want to be a little bit more legit, LLC, C Corp, S Corp, so you make that jump. W-2, pay workman's comp, pay employment tax, okay, 7.5%. Now think about it, all right? You're bringing in, okay, you might have nice profit margins, but now you have to bring in people. And now you're not just responsible for yourself, but you're responsible for your people, for their compensation. Now you have HR. You have onboarding, you have training, manuals, benefits. All of a sudden, those margins, aren't looking so great. It's no longer about, let me just take care of myself. Let me just pay my apartment rent or my mortgage. Now you're responsible for the lives of others professionally and personally. And it's exciting, but it's hard. It is very hard. Now, throw on top of that, having a family. One of the most difficult things that I've had to deal with as an entrepreneur is making the decision of, should I work more or get home to my kids? What impact is this having on them? Is this having a positive impact? Are they seeing the hard work? Are they seeing the fruits of your labor? Or are they just simply missing daddy or mom? Because we're both in it. That's difficult. When you work for someone else, 9 to 5, go home, that's it. See the kids, go back to work the next day. The only time you might stay late or work at home is, if you got one of those bosses that's saying, hey, this needs to get done. But when you have that choice of, I really don't have to stay here. I don't answer to anyone but myself and, of course, my clients. I can just go home. Or do I need to make that sacrifice and get things done? That's hard. That is very hard. Probably one of the hardest things that I have to deal with. So I say all of this for a reason. There are a lot of people that just glamorize this life. And I'm not going to lie, it is great. It is great. I love what I do. And I love impacting businesses and impacting the people that work for me. It is what I live for. Someone asked me, how do you keep going every day? What makes you get up in the morning to do this? And quite honestly, I said, you know what? Making a difference in your lives is what makes me get up every morning to do this. I don't want my people to have to wait until they're mid-40s like me, be downsized, let go, or whatever, and then have to start all over and learn everything from scratch. I want them to be successful before they hit 30. And I want them to learn what it's like to run a business and to scale a business. That's what gets me up every morning. And to change generations to come. But it's not easy. It's a sacrifice. To this day, at 53 years young, I still reach out to those that are older than me, that have been in business longer than me, or even those that are younger than me, that are just smarter than me on what I should do. Is my approach right? What do you think about this? That's a great idea. I sat down with a gentleman the other day. We went to the same college. So I know he's, super successful. One of the most difficult colleges to get in the world. Bright gentleman, just a few years older than me, same college. And I sat there and just listened to him and his approach in dealing with things. And I was blown away. Matter of fact, his name is Rick Lochner. I think you should look him up. Brilliant mind. And I learned. Now here's someone I could sit back and say, hey, we went to the same college. What makes you, smarter than me? We're not even in the same industry. But I learned. And there's a lot to be said about that. Humility. In business, to grow to the next level, it takes a lot of humility. Letting go of control. Trusting in the intellect of those that are working with you. And being selfless. So I say this. I say this to the millennials, Generation Y, whatever it is. Even to my own generation. If you want to go to the next level, it's going to be hard. And you have to show a lot of humility. Reach out to those that have been there, that know, can give you some good advice, give you some good direction. It's important. And be ready for the sacrifice. because it is a sacrifice. It is a sacrifice. All these expensive cars, big homes, people showing all this bling. You know, you don't see the sacrifice that they went through to get there. You don't see any of that. It just seems so glamorous, and it's too easy to get caught up in all of that glamour until it hits you like a brick wall. So I would say, remember these words. Hopefully this video made an impact. I'm going through it. We're going to that next level. I've had to scale when I finally realized that what I'm paying out in operational costs, and which includes, of course, compensation, is more than I ever made in six figures as in corporate America. I'm like, wow, I never thought that would happen. And it's great, but you got to keep that machine going. You always have to be ready for the next step. So anyway, thanks a lot for listening. I hope this wasn't like overly boring or deep, but hey, it's the real. And I think that's what people need to hear. As always, this is Frank. Peace. God bless.